Good day. These are your Tribune highlights for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. We begin with the Tribune's main story: the government's attempt to recover $357 million from the owners of the Grand Bahama Port Authority has been rejected by an international arbitration tribunal. While Prime Minister Philip Davis described the ruling as a victory, the outcome is more complex. The tribunal ruled that the government cannot collect the $357 million it sought under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. However, the panel also confirmed that the Port Authority may still be required to make certain annual payments to the government through 2054. The exact amount owed will now have to be determined through a review process outlined in the agreement. Another key finding is that the tribunal rejected the Port Authority's argument that it has exclusive authority to govern the Freeport area. This means the government still retains legislative authority over matters such as immigration, customs, and regulation in the port area. Both sides therefore claim some level of victory. The government says the decision confirms its authority in Freeport and leaves the door open for payments that could still be owed. The Port Authority, however, points out that the government failed to secure the $357 million it demanded, and that the structure and ownership of the Port Authority remain unchanged. The opposition Free National Movement criticized the outcome, arguing that public funds were spent pursuing a claim that did not produce the financial result the government promised. Turning to the business section, the Tribune reports that the government's attempt to force a change in GBPA ownership suffered a setback with the dismissal of the $357 million damages claim. However, the tribunal also rejected a $1 billion counterclaim brought by the Port Authority against the government, which officials say protects taxpayers. Business leaders in Grand Bahama say the ruling may leave uncertainty for now, and some Freeport residents are questioning whether the long-running dispute will result in meaningful economic change for the island. Elsewhere in the news, the Civil Aviation Authority is investigating safety incidents involving near misses at Family Island airports. Officials say corrective action will be taken if safety breaches are confirmed. Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis says the government will not make changes to the national budget despite rising global oil prices linked to tensions in the Middle East. He said officials are monitoring the situation but remain confident the country can still meet its fiscal targets. The government has also launched a national cleanup campaign aimed at tackling illegal dumping, derelict vehicles, and littering in communities across the country. In business development news, a new $3 million technology-driven laundromat is preparing to open in Nassau, offering modern automated washing systems aimed at improving efficiency and convenience. BTC has also announced upgrades to 35 mobile network sites in Nassau and Grand Bahama as part of efforts to improve data speeds and network reliability. In court news, the Court of Appeal has overturned a 5-year gun conviction after ruling that the evidence presented was insufficient. In another case, a woman received probation after being convicted of attacking another woman with a knife during a parking dispute. The editorial argues that losing the bid to recover $357 million from the Grand Bahama Port Authority can hardly be described as a victory. The editorial says the government demanded the money as damages linked to alleged breaches of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, but the tribunal dismissed that claim. While the ruling clarified some issues about the agreement, the paper suggests the government should be cautious about presenting the outcome as a major win. In letters to the editor, one writer raises concerns about the removal of large historic trees along Eastern Road and questions whether proper environmental and planning procedures were followed. Another letter discusses political issues surrounding Mount Moriah and allegations raised during recent campaign discussions. Those are your Tribune highlights for this Wednesday. For the full stories and much more, be sure to purchase a copy of today's Tribune or visit their website to read the complete reports and additional coverage. And remember, staying informed helps us all make better decisions. As the saying goes, an informed people build a stronger nation. Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.